All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to talk about a couple of quick things. As you guys know, I did switch back to the Demon Hunter. It's been a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable. But one thing that I did do a little bit differently this time and this go around is I did look more into what skills actually need to be awakened, what gems I'm actually using in my build and why. And I want to kind of talk to you a little bit more about it because I realized that I was actually sacrificing a lot more damage than what I should have been. And I kind of want to talk about why and how this happened and kind of my thought process on it, and then how I actually corrected it, and now I'm running with even more damage possible. All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about our build, right? We are playing as a Demon Hunter right now. So obviously we have some interesting gear pieces. Now, when I say interesting gear pieces, let's be honest, they're pretty much your standard gear pieces. However, the only major difference is I am rocking a different helm, right? We got the new helm, so we are rocking this as far as damage goes. And actually, it's been great. I've enjoyed it. The fact that it gives me a increase in my crit chance is great. I do understand I lose some life, but that's okay. It's no different than running a Berserker's Eye, right? It's definitely, I noticed a lot more damage output. Now, because of that, I also noticed that if I were to, say, awaken this piece of gear, so let's go ahead and let's just take out some of these gems here, so that way we can kind of show you, when I say awaken the piece of gear, that way you know what I mean. So if I go in here and I remove this socket, that removes all three of those. Now, if I go up here, and I remove this one, actually I need to equip it, sorry. I need to remove the gem. Upgrade gem. Nope. Wrong button yet again, John. What a noob. Okay, socket gems. Remove. There we go. Now we're done being a noob. Okay. Notice that I don't have a gem equipped to either one. Now, what happens when I equip my level 10 gem? If I go ahead and I equip my level 10 gem, what does that do? That unlocks the ability, right? Because I have used my echo on it, and now I can use the modified boost. In this case, it gives me Vengeance cooldown decreased by 10%. Cool. So what does that give me for Vengeance currently? That gives me a 14-second cooldown on Vengeance. Okay, awesome. That's pretty good. That's, that keeps the uptime kind of high. It's about really a 7-second cooldown, ideally. As you saw there, it was 7 seconds. I'll go ahead and I'll do it one more time for you can see exactly what I have. Notice it's 14 seconds, and notice the green bar above the 12 is still going down. It's going to stop right at the 7-second mark right there. So you can see that I have 7 seconds of downtime in between my Vengeance. Now, what happens, say, if I remove said gem? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just remove the gem. Once again, I don't know why this is so challenging for me, but at least hopefully it's entertaining for you guys. So I'm going to remove it. Now, what does this do if when I remove this and I no longer have that awakening ability? So let's see here. This gives us a 15-second cooldown, right? And then its uptime is actually, instead of 7 seconds, it's 8 seconds. So it's almost 7 seconds. It's just a smidge off. Now, the thing to note here is I do have a Bottled Hope. I have Vithus. I did proc this without Bottled Hope being active, right? So you didn't see the Bottled Hope up there. But if I wait the 20 seconds, which I think should be close to now, there it is. It should be active. Once again, 15 seconds, and the green bar is going to come down, and basically up to 7 seconds again. So the uptime is about the same. Cooldown is, is 15 seconds. So we gain 1 to 2 seconds of lost vengeance time, we'll call it, right? So that's what putting this 1-star gem into the helm item got me, okay? So now let's think about this. So if that gives me 1 to 2% of attack speed, we'll call it, or attack benefit from the skill of Vengeance, what does it mean if I were to come to, I don't know, this piece of gear? What does this one do? Notice that it does not tell you what these gear pieces do when they're upgraded. You have to actually socket the gems to see what you actually get. So notice that when I socket this particular gem, right, Carson's Invigoration, you can see that it unlocks it, and it says crossbow shot damage increased by 10%. Now, the thing to note with this, and the reason why I bring this up, is this is the one I'm currently using. Now, the reason why this is the one I'm currently using is because a 10% increase in crossbow shot is pretty amazing. For those of you who are unaware, crossbow shot is the main ability for a demon hunter that most all of us use. Now, this gives us plus 10% damage here, and this is the range of damage you can do. Yes, it is variable, but however, I have a charm that's plus 8%. I also have my piece of gear on that Vengeance does the buff for all damage, and I've already decreased the cooldown on it, and I've increased the damage dealt. all around. So what this means is I already have a massive boost going into my crossbow shot. So what I actually lose from losing that 2 seconds of vengeance is actually not all that much, because I'm gaining 10% extra damage from my crossbow shot, which is the primary as a demon hunter. This is a lot more impactful than having that 2 seconds of uptime from your vengeance. Now, there are other skills in the build that we could talk about. So if I were to equip the legendary gear or the level 10 on, say, flaming arrow here, multi-shot will do more damage. This one also affects multi-shot. And I don't remember what happens when I use it on the pants. I want to say what it does is it decreases the vengeance duration again. And I know this one also decreases vengeance duration. So overall, it's basically, what do I want to run? Do I want to run a cooldown on vengeance, or do I want to run a damage modifier? In this case, I was already at the cap, so to speak, for my cooldown from vengeance. So that's why you only saw a 2 second difference, because there is a 30% soft cap. I already have from this piece of gear here, I already have decreased cooldown by 15%. I also have, what is this? I have this is the damage, but I can increase the damage and movement. For skill cooldowns decreased by 3%. That's what I'm looking at right here for a Bottled Hope. So right there, I have 18%. I also have special other like skill stones and everything that are applied that help with that. Or not skill stones, reforged stones. So these, right, can also help you for reducing the cooldown, I believe. Actually, I think I removed those, yes. So there is, I'm really, honestly, I'm spacing right now on it, and I apologize because this is not very beneficial, to be honest with you. There's another spot where I'm reducing the cooldown or the skill modifiers here. Where is it? Anyways, long story short, it doesn't make sense for me not to run Carson's Invigoration on my offhand versus my helm. That's the point of what I'm getting here, is because the literal fact of the matter is, for 2 seconds of vengeance doesn't necessarily give you the same output that it would be a 10% additional damage boost on your primary stat. So by me changing this out, it worked really, really well. Now, the other thing that I want to note here is that, sure, if I were to run all 5-star gems, maybe that'd give me more actual damage for my residents, and it would be even better. I'm not necessarily going to fully defeat or argue at this point. But one thing that I am going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up and show you guys is, if I go ahead and I equip both of these here, I do want to show you that because I'm running a level 1 gem that is level 10, I can boost the resonance, right? It's max. So I can get a primary attack damage increased by 3%. I can also get a skill damage increased by 2%. Notice that both of these here are essentially a 5% total damage increase on your primary attack, so to speak, versus on every skill, and only just a 2% flat bonus here, which also gets doubled if you have Vengeance active, because Vengeance will boost all of your damage because of the pair of pants that I'm wearing. So, with that being said, what do you lose damage-wise by having, let's say, this gem versus something else? So normally I would rock the Blood-Soaked Jade in this location. If I pull these down here, you'll see that I have 170 resonance on my Carson's Invigoration, and that's it. Everything else is about 450 or so. So if we pull up our handy dandy calculator, you'll see that at 450 minus 170, this gives us a grand total of about 280. So what does this mean? Well, this means if I were to actually, in theory, remove, let's say, Seeping Bile here, right? That would make up the difference, so to speak. You'd see the difference of not having a 5-star gem, right? Or if I were to add it or double it, you would see the difference there. So what I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do and show you is the fact that if I take my damage, right? Let's take what our current damage is right now, because this increases the base attributes on your stats only. So if we go here to damage, right? Because that's the one that we're all looking at, and that's the one we're talking about. Let's go ahead and let's increase the damage, right? Because strength is the one that does damage, right? And this is a linear thing. So it's okay if I just take the damage number versus the strength number here, because resonance modifies really overall, this is the total what you get when you reduce the resonance versus what the strength really is, right? So let's go ahead and let's pop up a quick spreadsheet here and let's kind of do some quick math. So let's say, okay, the first one that we're going to bring up is our damage is currently damage. So let's just say it here. Damage is 7611. Okay. That's with seeping bile. Okay. So that's seeping bile, 280 residents. Okay, cool. Now, what happens when let's say I remove it? Okay. What happens if I were to remove it? Because that'll tell you how much damage you lose, and then you can kind of see how much damage you would gain, right? So this should be a linear pattern because I'm 280 less than what I could be. So really, if I take the math and I say, okay, remove it, how much damage did I lose? If I double that number, does it make up for it, right? So let's see. Let's take off seeping bile here. Let's go ahead and take this one off. Let me put the spreadsheet away again. Actually, you know what? We'll just minimize the spreadsheet just a little bit so you guys can see the screen. There it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and do upgrade gym. Or no, sorry, stock and gyms. Remove. Okay, now we have removed. You can see we lost the resonance. This lost us our damage, right? You saw it right there on the screen. This brought our damage down to 7283. So what does that do for me? That is a damage is 7283 with seeping bile or without seeping bile. And that is the 280 resonance, which is the difference if I were to be running another gem, right? So what did this actually cost me damage-wise? So if I do some quick math, we'll do some maths here. We'll take 7,600, and we'll just go ahead and subtract that by 7283. And actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's take that coefficient of that number here, and let's see what that does if we divide this whole thing by 7,600, and this will give me the percentage of it, right? So actually, I used the wrong signs here. My bad. We don't want to bracket it. We want to. Sorry, I'm CNC programmer. I get used to certain commands here. Perfect. Okay. So we see right here, this is a 4% difference, right? 4% difference in a lost attack. So this means I would gain about 4% extra damage by having a 5-star gem, which would increase the resonance, right? That's what we're trying to prove here and talk about. So I lost 4% damage. Now, what did I gain by having this one at level 10? I gained overall a 2% damage here, right? So you see the 2% right above my head. So right there, that negates the 4, or turns that 4 into 2, right? So if we say this one equals this minus 2. Okay, so now we are at, that's not the way I wanted to do that at all. I want to go ahead and say this is 0.002. There we go. Keep it in fractionals. Okay, so now we're at 2%, right? And then we also got a increase of primary attack by 3%, which once again, I'm a Demon Hunter. All we're spamming is our main attack. It's the same kind of argument that I just had with Carson's Invigoration versus Berserker's Eye, right? So this actually gives me an additional 3% for the primary attack damage. So it's actually a little bit better than if I were to be running another 5-star gem. I do understand that 5-star gems are going to have a different magnifier. They're going to have different ability, right? I could be running a Winston's, I could be running a Phoenix Ashes. There's a lot of options on what 5-star gems I could actually be running in place of this. However, the point that I'm trying to make here is the fact that the resonance is going to go linearly, so it doesn't matter. So resonance literally goes with resonance as far as this multiplier goes. So by having my Carson's Invigoration actually on this skill, which increases my crossbow damage by 10%, right? Now, this already gives me more damage than if it would have on my helm, which is just reducing my cooldown on Vengeance. On top of that, I have a 1-star gem that is fully maxed out and 2 1-star gems maxed out to go with it, which also gives me an additional damage multiplier for primary attack and skill damage, which ultimately makes up for me not running a 5-star gem on my last slot. So that's the point I'm trying to make here, and hopefully that helps you guys at home kind of think of, okay, what do I actually want to run on my build? Is because honestly, when it comes to a Demon Hunter, which I know I harp a lot about, and unfortunately, I enjoy the Demon Hunter more than I do any other class. So I'm going to try to help you guys understand the cheapest and quickest way, so to speak, to really get the most fluck for your buck. Because really, it doesn't make any sense for you to run a 5th level 5 gem on a Demon Hunter build, unless you can get them, say, above, yes, like if you can get them above level 5 here, which is what the what we figured out here. So obviously, if you were to, say, get your level 5 gem up to the next level, which I'm nowhere near, then sure, it would make more sense for you to have multiple 5-stars in here, because at that point, We're going to break that threshold of the difference in the percentages. But for right now, because I'm not really taking these above level 5 because the investment is just way, way too high and embarrassing, having a 1-star gem in here actually works out perfectly for Demon Hunter build. All right, that was a lot of information. I do understand. I may have got tongue-tied a little bit. I may have stuttered a little bit. I apologize. I did that spreadsheet completely freehand while streaming at that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that you guys leave me some feedback on it. Let me know what you think. Is this something that makes sense to you, or you feel like is worth sacrificing? Or are you someone who you are totally focused on all the damage, that even gaining that additional damage in your primary attack is just really not worth it at the end of the day? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear more about it, and can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.